What is up, guys? It's been a really long time since I worked on this project, mainly because of personal issues with my partner on this. But I think it's all in the past now, and I have two new members on board. Lisa as Crystal, and Alicia as Serena. And another character or two. So, yeah. Hopefully we can keep this crazy train a-rolling. Crystal glided gently through the endless void of space as she remembered how she had narrowly escaped certain death, and how her best friend had not been as fortunate. The guilt of Serena's death still stabbed at Crystal's mind, even after all these years. She gripped the steering stick tightly in anger, gritting her small teeth. A soft hand rested on hers, that familiar voice saying,
"You must learn to let go of your rage. It will only poison your mind."
Crystal knew it was Serena, and that she was right. But in this moment, the bitter fox did not care. She was far too distraught to think rationally.
I'm doing what's best for me. I don't belong anymore. Guess my abilities weren't as useful as I hoped.
Fox is still trying to protect you.
Serena assured her friend. Crystal jerked her hand away from Serena's.
I don't need his protection. I want to prove myself to him.
With a disappointed look, Serena gently ran her fingers through her friend's bangs.
Time. That's all you need right now, Crystal, is time.
Crystal turned to face her friend, asking,
What do you mean?
Serena slowly disappeared as she answered,
It's clear. You cannot understand yet. You will know when the time is right.
Confused and frustrated, the Blue Vixen noticed a small town on a nearby asteroid and landed on its edge. She headed into a docking bay and was greeted by a burly warthog in dirty clothes.
Welcome to Starway Stations. 20 creds, please.
As Crystal handed him her credit card and sat back with a gloomy look, he eyed her curiously.
You ain't from around here, are ya?
She shook her head. The large man swiped her card through a handheld payment device, replying,
We got the finest hotel right around the corner. Only 50 creds a night.
Crystal stepped out of her R-Wing, taking her card and blankly saying,
Thanks.
He noticed the streaks of tears staining her furry cheeks.
Rough night?
As the fox walked off, she muttered,
Something like that.
Crystal ignored a series of whistles and cheers as she hurried past a group of drunken and lustful men. She immediately found the somewhat run-down hotel, a neon sign reading the Corona Inn, sitting outside the entrance. Crystal quickly stepped inside, having the misfortune of the bar being in the front. Miscreants and drunkards were everywhere, behaving atrociously.
Such vile creatures.
Crystal thought to herself. She noticed to her right was a stage, a small jazz band and a few scantily clad dancers entertaining the men in the dining booths. The scents of cigar smoke and alcohol filled the air, making it difficult for Crystal to breathe. She struggled to squeeze through the crowds to get to a room. The uncomfortable fox found her way to the main lobby, a gentleman at a desk reading a newspaper. He was a raccoon in a dark suit, seemingly unaware of all the ruckus coming from down the hall. He glanced up as she approached, asking, Would you like a room, miss? She nodded, getting her credit card ready. Why the long face, lass? He asked curiously.
Let's just say today wasn't my best day.
She answered with a hint of annoyance as she handed him her card. He observed her torn dress and messy hair and replied, Well, that's a darn shame. Tell you what, for your troubles, I'll give you a nice discount. Only 25 credits for your stay. Crystal gave him a small smile, saying,
Thanks. I appreciate it.
He nodded, returning her card to her and handing her a key marked with the number 17. Ready more than ever to relax, Crystal headed off to find her room. The walls in the hallway were faded, with graffiti and paint chipping here and there. Some of the doors had scratches and dents, one missing a handle entirely. Crystal walked up to room 17 and unlocked it, entering quickly. Her room was very bland and uninviting, but it was her only solitude from the cruel world. She locked the door and immediately collapsed onto the bed. Despite Crystal's uneasy feeling about this place, she was at peace in this confined room. Meanwhile, things had not been going so well at the Great Fox. Tensions were high. Fox seemed to have been outcast by the others since kicking Crystal off the team. Everyone was frustrated with his actions, but he insisted it was for the best. A few days after her departure, the team was out patrolling through an asteroid field.
I'm starving. We should head home,
Falco grumbled. Fox surveyed his Arwing's radar, which was blank as ever. There's nothing to see here. We might as well.
Wait a minute, Fox. My radar's picking something up close by,
Peppy said with concern.
Too late, Gramps,
a familiar voice said. A laser blast came out of nowhere and struck the left wing of Slippy's Arwing. Wolf, Panther, and Leon appeared from the clusters of asteroids in their wolfen crafts.
How do you fancy our new invisibility cloaking?
Panther asked as the team swirled about the Arwings.
We can even bypass your radar detection until it's too late. Technology at its finest.
Fall back, now!
Fox commanded. The Starfox team began to retreat, Slippy's Arwing limping behind. Falco set his space thrusters to full blast, leading the way.
Falco, slow down! It's too crowded in this asteroid field,
Fox shouted.
The green one, he is mine,
Panther said with a sneer before unleashing a vicious barrage of laser fire. Slippy's Arwing was struck mercilessly, leading to a blowout of the left engine.
Shoot, I'm going down!
Slippy cried, struggling to control his smoking Arwing.
What's wrong, Fox? Feeling a little pressure?
Wolf asked smugly.
Too bad your girlfriend isn't here. She could have detected our wolfens a mile away.
Fox gritted his teeth and pounded a fist onto his armrest in frustration, knowing Wolf was right.
And maybe she could save that babbling toad.
Panther moved in for a final blow and made a direct hit on Slippy's Arwing.
Die, pathetic amphibian.
Fox managed to get a good look as Slippy lost control of his Arwing and crashed into a large asteroid, exploding upon impact. Fox tried to scream, but was so horrified he couldn't utter a sound. Tears swelled up in his eyes, but he wiped them away and kept sharp, focusing on the danger at hand. A boiling rage took hold as Fox quickly turned around and attacked Panther's Wolfen with extreme aggression, barely paying attention to the oncoming asteroids.
Not a wise move, Fox,
Wolf muttered as all three Wolfens fired back at him. He barely avoided being taken down himself, a few laser beams clipping his wings. Growling deeply, Fox allowed his better judgment to take over and continued with the retreat.
Care if I finish off the bird as well?
Panther asked.
Wait,
Wolf replied.
I want Crystal on our side for the final attack. It would be much better if she delivered the finishing strike. Cunning and cruel. I like it,
Panther answered with a smirk.
Let's head back for now. Let them limp home,
Wolf said with a chuckle. The Starwolf team reactivated their cloaking and were quickly gone. Fox rushed back to the wreckage of Slippy's Arwing. There was only some scattered shrapnel and a blazing hunk of metal. Fox knew there was no way Slippy could have survived. The only remains of the toad were his cap, which was badly torn. Fox used a small retrieving device on the exterior of his Arwing to salvage the hat. The Starfox team hobbled back to their headquarters, grieving deeply over the loss of Slippy.